Warning: the following live draw stream is intended for educational purposes. It contains adult subject matter and is not intended.
Actually, that's not the right disclaimer. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Just when I thought I had everything together, it's this one. Poof. The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors. There's nothing adult about this stream. That's for House of Bob. Oh my goodness. And here's the other one, because I don't have enough disclaimers on this stupid show. The following live broadcast may contain loud, obnoxious, shrill, and alarming noises that might be considered disturbing, if not outright uncomfortable to listen to, especially if you are wearing headphones. I share my office space with an African gray parrot and two parakeets, and I have no control over their behavior while I am live streaming, unlike my regular videos where I have the opportunity to edit them out as best as I can. If you are sensitive to loud, surprising background noises, I recommend either not turning your volume up too loud or watching my edited, pre-recorded videos instead. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh my goodness. It's like just when I'm this close to almost getting my shit together. Oh my goodness. Welcome everybody. Yes, it's like I just what happened was that I had to move a whole bunch of files around in the Streamyard and just cleaning stuff up, and I have to keep like two brands together, you know, stuff for House of Bob and stuff for the stream here, the stream today. I wish StreamYard would allow me to put stuff into folders. It would be a lot easier for me. But, you know, hey, we got to hear a little bit of Nita's voice. We all know how much we love that. So, you know. So, you know, yeah, so you know how this goes. So who's joining us today? Oh, hello. Oh, from Peru. Very nice. Thank you so much. Let's see. Some of you cover disclaimers. Yeah, come for the disclaimers. That's for sure. I'm gonna Pavlov dog all of you. That's what it is. Hey, James. How you doing? You know, it's like, oh my goodness. Yes. So, wow. Okay, great. Hold on. Let me just do a little something here. Hold on. Because, you know, I had everything set up until I realized I didn't have everything set up. So, you know, like I said, I was doing some, it's like, I think I almost have my setup the way I want it. Almost, you know, it's like it's definitely I know you guys have been watching me struggle with oh, look at that. I was about to put the wrong link in the chat. Let's see, hold on, let me do that again. You know, it's like you know that I have been really trying to have this new setup up with OBS and StreamYard and whatnot. Okay, there we go. I have the right link now. There we go. So, and poof. There we go. Oh, hey, Jay. How you doing? Hello. Yes, thank you. Where are you? There we go. Okay, so, I guess before I start babbling about everything here, so let me just. Okay. All right. So here we go. I think, so how did you like that new intro anyway, aside from the, disclaimer snafu? You know, it's like I was playing around with a couple of things. Thought I could make, the intro with a little bit more upbeat music and whatnot, a little bossa nova for everybody. You know, so I'm pretty happy with the way that came out. So yeah, so like I said, it's like I'm just about getting this set up the way I want. You know, now if I could only just stream correctly, you know, but whatever. You know, it's like, look, you're here to watch me draw anyway. So you know, so hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. Oh, which explains a lot. I really do. Hold on, let me make sure I'm in the right place here. Here we go. Okay, I'm in the right cues. Okay, I've been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which will be returning to Kickstarter early 2023. So make sure that you're signed up on the web pages, on any of my web pages, to that you get updated when the campaign goes live. And I am currently known for my medieval fantasy soap opera drama, Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which is in its last 8 days on Kickstarter. So just a tad shy, over a week left on Kickstarter for Ego Raven issue 5. Links are in the show notes below. So you know what to do, just not right now. And I am also co-host with Nina Landing on the Rage Into the Vlogs show every Monday and Friday on the Indie Comics Network at 11 a.m. So it's like, by the way, speaking of Kickstarters, if you are a fan of Tall Tales, then you will also be a fan of the Oswald Chronicles, both written by J.D. Calderon. The Oswald Chronicles Volumes 1 and 2, and now currently funding on Kickstarter. It just funded yesterday, so thank you so much for everybody who's pledged so far. So like I said, all the links are in the show notes below. And in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at my newly kind of revamped, tweaked, however you want to say it, talltalesonline.com and egoworks.com, EGOWRKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube. If you are watching me on YouTube, you can check out my channel at Daphne Lage, Lager, which also you can see the link right there too, which also streams through the Indie Comics Network as well. So make sure that you subscribe to both channels, all the channels. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs, hit all the buttons, so that we make the algorithm gods happy and more people can see these videos. So welcome everybody from Facebook. Welcome everybody from Twitch. Welcome everybody from Twitter. Yes, and especially if you're watching me from Facebook and Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join my sexy people in the chat. Join my cheeky little monkeys in the chat. So that we can have an easier conversation, because sometimes Facebook acts up and Twitter doesn't allow you to chat at all. So if you want to be part of the conversation, YouTube's the place to be. So who else is joining us? Oh, yes. Yes. The parrot likes the intro too. Yes. Oh, hello. Yes, Nita. Yes. It's like, that's what happens when there's multiple versions of the same thing in the same Streamyard. Yeah. But, I do wish that Streamyard had folders so I can keep the House of Bob stuff separate from, my, regular live stream stuff. But, the Thanksgiving. So how was it? It was very quiet. Oh, did the Barney balloon see its last days? That happens. It's like, it hits, it hits one of those lampposts or whatever, and that's the end of it, So, but it's been years since I watched, Thanksgiving Day parade. Luckily my Thanksgiving was very quiet. We don't really celebrate that. It's like, we're not very good at holidays. It's like, we just kind of like keep it chill and whatnot, and and that's and we just have a good time, just by ourselves, working. Usually we're working. We're still working. Like I said, when you work from home, holidays, weekends, they all don't really mean anything. So wow, it's like, so here we are on Wednesday, November 30th, literally the last day of November already. 30 days until 2023. It's like, it just feels like It just, look, my brain is still in like 2 years ago. So my brain is still there, still trying to catch up with all the work I started 2 years ago. So it is kind of strange to think that we're already creeping into 2023 already. And it's like, and it's kind of, and it's like, yeah, I really should be, I don't know, I really should be doing something. I don't know. I mean, usually around this time at the end of every month, I'm usually panicking, trying to like put together my to-do list for the next the starting month, because I just have to keep myself organized like that. But I haven't really been doing that the past couple of months because it's like all my work is really just overlapping anyway, and I, in the end, it's like I do know what I have to do. I did prepare my pile of stuff that I want to finish for next month. I prepped up my paper for a couple of commissions. There's a large one in there that I have to get sketching on. I have another commission that I have to start as well. There's another Eagle Raven short story that I'm trying to finish as well. It's an 8-page short story. I just finished the previous one that I was working on a couple of live streams ago. Actually, no, I think it was the last week. So I finally finished that. They're complete. I got so excited at finishing that story that I flatted it myself. Sorry, Jewel May. It's like I flatted it myself. I call it, and I just finished it just to kind of just get it out of the way. I didn't want to wait any further. So I figure I'm going to have plenty of stuff to still send to my flatters. So the 2 pages isn't going to wreck anything. So that story is completely finished. I still have to figure out how I'm going to I'm going to use that short story in a future campaign, but we'll see how. I'm not gonna worry about it. You know what? That's something for future me to worry about. So I have another Eagle Raven short story that I started that I want to also have finished. That one is 8 pages as well, so I'm hoping it won't take me that long. And oh my god, this is the thing that surprised me the most. I actually pulled out my Tall Tales pages. I have there's an issue of Tall Tales, Tears of the Mother, issue 6. That I literally have 8 pages left to ink, and I pulled them out yesterday, and I go, you know what? If I'm making this pile, let me go through everything that needs to be finished. So here's a sneak peek at one of those pages, so I can finally finish the issue to Tears of the Mother, issue 6, because I want it on the docket for next year. I want to finally do the first trade paperback to Tears of the Mother, which collects the first 4 issues of an 8-issue story arc, and then I want to release issue 6 next year as well. I still haven't finalized my schedule for next year. Like I said, if you missed my last stream, I'm trying to set up my schedule this time so I'm not burning myself out so quickly. It's like the whole marathon analogy that I like using. You finish a marathon by running consistently, not sprinting at the beginning and then choking in the middle. It's like that's not how you finish. Let's see. So how long does it take me to do a page traditionally? Well, let's see. The other day I was kind of like really seriously thinking about that, and because it's very easy to overestimate, how quickly I can do things. And it turns out that I'm look, it's like I just have to admit that I'm slow, but I'm not sure if it's because I'm actually slow or it's because my schedule, like I haven't really scheduled it out correctly. So what I figured that usually, depending, it can take me about a month to maybe layout and pencil if I actually sit down and really do it. And then it could take me another month to ink, and then probably another to give myself some leeway, another month to color. So the process, so one issue, I think if I'm working optimally, I could get it done in 4 months. But the thing is though, I think that because I have so many things that I'm doing at the same time, my time that I spend on it is very stretched out because of that. But I can safely say it can take me 4 months to do. It's like I would like to speed that up a bit, but I don't want to sacrifice quality for it. This Tall Tales issue, though, unfortunately, these last 8 pages, I think the last time I worked on this issue was 2 years ago. My mistake was that I stopped working on it in order to work on Eagle Raven issue 1, when what I should have done was finished it, then worked on Eagle Raven issue 1. But like I said, my schedule is all over the place. So let's just say about 4 months. It could take me 4 months to do one issue. So thank you for the question. Yeah, because I really do have to sit down and really think about, like how to work that out better. So I've been working on that, getting all my stuff together for next month. Another thing that I want to finish for next month is, like I said, I have two commissions. I have a short story. I have the last 8 pages for Tall Tales, and then I have the last 12 pages of layouts for Eagle Raven issue 8. So I want to see if I can get all of that done, because it's like they're all kind of like bits and bobs of unfinished, as opposed to like, okay, an entire issue needs to be done. So that's what I'm trying to do. So that's the goal that I have for December, to finish all my bits and bobs. So then that way when January starts, I can I can really focus on working on issue 8, getting Tall Tales to Peacekeepers, the trade, get that Kickstarter going, get to finally coloring issue 6, Eagle Raven issue 6, because that comes out next year. And just really, try to focus, on the books for next year without burning myself, on it. So, so that's pretty much, and as you can see on the screen here, this is one of my bits and bobs that I'm trying to finish. So, my timing on this couldn't be more awful, because, Jay Rosario of Unstoppable Comics, he did a Kickstarter about a month ago for his new title, The Dead Princess Vicky Styx. And I decided to do this pinup in my sketchbook of her. And, it's like I just didn't have the time to finish it during his campaign, because technically that would have been the logical thing to do, to be able to do this live stream while he had a Kickstarter running. But that's not how my schedule worked out. So I figured, since instead of just leaving this unfinished, I was going to work on it today, because also I wanted to work more on this new setup that I have for my Cintiq. I accidentally figured out a way to set it up so that it's actually more comfortable for me to work on. So before, I would always have to hunch over like this, and what it is, because I was using it as an extra monitor, I had it on a laptop stand, but I was using it as a monitor, right? And then all of a sudden it hit me. It's like, this laptop stand is actually the right height that I would like to be at when I'm using the Cintiq, so I'm not all hunched over. So I started testing, playing around with that and testing out like, the height and whatnot. But it's a really sturdy stand. So, it's like I feel confident. It's like when I kind of have to lean in a bit on it. So it's not going to collapse, so, and I've been very pleased with it. It's like, you know how it is. It's like, you sit, sitting down like that is not good for your back, or your shoulders. Actually, my problem is usually my shoulders. So, so yeah, so I decided for the live stream I was going to do some coloring. I originally wanted to do more inking, but I thought, you know what? Let's do some coloring. Let's get some shading done on this piece, and also because it's on the Cintiq, I don't have to flip back and forth between monitors. It's like so when I set it up, I'm going to actually be looking at my main monitor, so I don't have to fuss with too much stuff. I can actually see the chat and the whole thing. So that's kind of what I have planned for today. And the thing is though, and also the thing is too, so instead of having a Kickstarter for Jay for me to link to, if you in the show notes, you're going to see his website, a link to his website, where if you're interested, you can check out Vicky Styx on his website. And I think that he's going to have copies available soon, once I guess he fulfills his Kickstarter. So that's pretty much what's going on. So also for those of you who are following my OBS saga, so last week I was trying to figure out a sound issue, which I still was not able to figure out. So I just decided that it's like, you know what? It's like it's just going to be this hybrid of OBS and Streamyard that I'm just going to have to set up. And because I'm streaming through the indie comic network, I am. Hold on. Oh, we have. There we go. Okay, there we go. So because I'm streaming through the Indie Comics Network, I have to like set up. I had to set up like a different brand room for that. So it's like, you know what? Instead of putting everything into OBS, and still trying to fight I don't know, whatever it is that was going on OBS that wasn't allowing me to have audio. I decided I just was going to put like everything that required audio in Streamyard, and then just run this main frame through OBS, so at least I could it's like I can I can kind of pretty much get the setup that I want. So that's so that's pretty much what's been going on. I mean, it's like there's only so much I can do with technology. So, hey Nicholas, how you doing? It's like just actually it's kind of dreary over here today. It's raining, but and it's dark already. I hate it that it gets dark so early, because it's kind of always throwing me off somehow. Okay, so you know what? I think it's like that's enough rambling for me. It's like I know that you all want to see a closer look at the artwork and whatnot. Just one. Oh, hello. Thank you very much, James. Thank you. For those of you who are just joining us, just so you know, my comic book Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, is on Kickstarter right now. And as you can see over here is a kind of like a little slideshow as to all the variant covers that are available on the campaign right now. So like I said, we have 8 days left on it. We will be closing out on December 9th. Oof, which I still can't believe we're pretty much, we might as well be in December already. Today's the last day. So So yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just throw a couple of bumps, and I'm going to bring my Cintiq over and set it up, and yeah, and we're gonna just get to work. So yeah, so just give me a minute, and yeah, we'll do that. Hold on, let me try to find everything here. So yeah, so here we go. Okay. All right. So there we go. So there we go. So here is my screen for on the Cintiq. And yeah, so let's see. So yeah, so let me just put my little glove on. So yeah, so yeah, like I said, it's like, so now it's like I can actually see the screen and my Cintiq at the same time without being all hunched over. So let me just adjust my my camera there, because it's the camera is optimized for let's see, the camera is optimized for me to be hunched over. So okay, so let me just set this up. And hold on, give me a minute. Let me just, okay, there's something I forgot to do here. So yeah, let me just do something. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so here, okay, so let me make sure I have my right pen, my correct pen. Let me make sure everything is, let me see, where's my lasso? Okay, there we go. Okay, just want to make sure everything works here, because of course this will work fine while you know, all up until the point I actually need it. So okay, so all right, so let me get the music going. So I guess keeping with the intro theme, I'm going to start with I'm going to use a bossa nova playlist today. So so let's try that out. You know, very you know, can you guys so it should be okay. So so tell me, I don't think it's too loud. Last week I was adjusting the volume and I think it's still at the same setting from last week, which I was happy with. So so yeah, so here so yeah, okay, so I think we're good. Yeah, so there we go. So I can sit up straight. Posture is important. So all right, so let me see, probably what I should do is let's do the flats. Let's kind of like get her color in first. So here is, okay, so here is the reference that I'm going to be using, just to kind of like make sure that I'm using accurate, you know, the colors that are accurate to the character. So okay, so let's start with that. So let me make sure I'm on the right layer. Oh yeah, and this one, on this one in particular too, I was trying out I'm trying out a new technique where I'm using masks. I think you can kind of see it over here, to separate the character from the background. So, you know, so yeah, but I don't know if we're going to get to that first, because the idea is that by having a mask, I can color without having to worry about tracing over, like, here, let me show you. So let me see if I have this set up correctly. It should, yeah, you see how the color only appears in the character. That's the part that I masked out. So that way, I mean, it's supposed to make it easier if you know, you're the type that colors with a lot of gradients and special effects and whatnot. So so yeah, so I'm gonna see if that works. I mean, obviously it does. Obviously it does. So okay, so let's use, oh no, I don't need a, okay, so let me start with, okay, well, let's start with that red, and let's do her, let's just do her scarf here. So yeah, you know, so that's, oh, okay. Oh, all right. It helps if I was on the right layer. So, okay. So everybody just say hello to Nita in the background. She is going to be producing the show. One of the benefits of streaming through the Indie Comics Network is that now I can concentrate a little bit more on actually coloring. You know, so you know, feel free to bring up any comments in the chat that's just relevant, if you feel that it's relevant or not. So be nice to Nita, and she'll and she'll put your she'll put your comment up on the screen. You know. So this is a character that Jay Rosario he created for his line, for his company at Unstoppable Comics. And from what I remember from the story is that, so Vicky Styx is kind of like she's a monster protector, you know, so she's kind of like, you know, like, I guess like X-Files if they actually protected monsters instead of hunted them down or something. So, and from what I can tell from the Kickstarter, she works as a bouncer in a she works as a bouncer in a bar that's run by, it's not, he wasn't a werewolf. I think he was a Wendigo. A Wendigo? A Wendigo? A Wendigo. A Wendigo. You know? You know. So let's see. I'm pretty sure Jose, which he also goes by JD, he picked up a copy. So so at least I'll get to steal his copy. That when that comes out. Oh, actually, let me do the scars first. Let me see. So, because at least that way, you know, it's easier to do like little bits. Oh, it's a Australian. Okay. Because I guess what, the North American version is what, a Sasquatch? Is it a Sasquatch, or is that just another name for a Bigfoot? They all kind of like meld together. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Allison. All right, so, oh, you get to, so yeah, so Allison, everybody say hello to Allison. She is going to be, well, actually, she is, oh, that was a joke. Oh, okay. All right, so it's not Australian. Wendigos are not. Although I'm pretty sure there probably is an Australian variant. You know, every culture has their own similar creatures. So I'll let you slide on that one. Wendigo is a North American cryptid. Okay. I'm pretty sure that Australia has its own cryptids as well. On top of all the regular animals that just want to kill you regularly. You know. So everybody say hello to Allison. She's going to be doing a live stream here on the network at the indiecomicsnetwork.com. She's going to be doing a live stream. She's going to be drawing some fan art. She's going to be drawing ravens. So if you're interested in watching people draw fan art, and you don't even have to be at a convention. You know, now you can just watch people draw fan art from the comfort of your own home. Yeah, so Allison will be doing that. Oh, Fridays at 3 p.m. Fridays at 3. So, looking forward to. She's gonna. But also she's gonna be doing her own work as well. It's just that Raven is just the character I guess she's focusing on her debut live stream here with us. So. Yeah, this is really, I just have to say, though, is that having proper posture, like having a proper setup is really important. Because really, I accidentally realized what was going on with this laptop stand. And mind you, it's one of these, like, these no-name laptop stands that I bought off of Amazon. You know how it is. It's like you look for something and there's like a billion Chinese knockoffs, that you could just pick up. And it's like it's just like one of these silver ones, and it's been, it's just been working great, being able to like feel like I'm at the right position to do coloring on the computer. I thought, it's funny, I thought for the longest time that part of my problem with not really getting into, not really being that enamored with a Cintiq. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, the Cintiq, being able to work directly on the screen really does help. I know that I am faster doing coloring on a screen as opposed to a tablet. But the thing is, though, it was always very tiring. And I always thought it was because that maybe that my screen was too small. Like, I got the 16-inch Cintiq Pro. And I thought that was my problem. Maybe it's like, if I had spent $400 more, I could have gotten the 23. Yeah, really, that's all it took was $400, and I could have gotten like the 23 or 24-inch model. But I was just being cheap at the time, I guess. But now that I have it set up, I wish I could just show. I could. It's like, look, if you can see, like that's what I have going on here. So that's the laptop. That's a laptop stand. That's a laptop stand, and I just have the 16-inch on it, and I was able to set it in a way where it's like, oh wait, it's like, because now I can like sit up straight, and it's like, now it's like, it's not as like it feels comfortable working on it. Hold on, let me get my sneeze in. Damn it, it ran away. Okay, never mind. I was all ready for it, and it had to go. 24, really? It's like, because maybe the one that I was working on was larger than that, because a friend of ours went to Colombia for 6 months, and he let me hold on to his Cintiq because he didn't want to leave it behind. And he was afraid that, if it wasn't getting used or something, that it was going to get damaged. So I held on to it. And I wasn't really that impressed by it. I mean, I used it. But it was just like, okay. I mean, I can see the appeal. Oh, wrong color. Okay, there we go. Let's do that. There we go. Okay. There we go. There. Then now we're cooking with gas here. Oh yeah, I chose the color for her hair. I was meaning to do her hair. Let's see. But yeah, so it's just kind of funny to think that my problem with the Cintiq was probably posture and not the Cintiq itself. Isn't that something? So I've just been, so that's part of the reason why I was really excited in finishing those 2 comic book pages that I was working on last week. That I even flatted them myself and everything. And it's because it's like, oh wow, it's like now it feels comfortable. Although here's the thing that I have with the Cintiq though, which I don't know if I'm maybe it's just I have to get used to it again. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I have to work work backwards on a line to be able to see it. Like if I just it's like I've been inking just one panel, just one. Oh, there you go. Very nice. Yes. Always fun to finish. That's my favorite part of the process is finishing. Oh, but the thing is like when I'm tracing out like an area like this. So if I go this way, right, I sometimes have a problem like, I don't know, like seeing the lines I'm supposed to trace and I'm supposed to trace over. But if I go in the opposite direction, like this, it seems to work out better for me. Like, I don't know, like I can see everything better. Like my hand gets in the way if I do it if I do that in the other direction. Like if I'm the only one, I was like, yeah, that's what I do too. I have yet to really sit down and see if I can like do like sketching and whatnot on, I was watching a tutorial. Although this was Clip Studio Paint, but the thing is though, it's pretty much the same concept. Of course, now that I mention that if I went this way, I don't, I have more problems now. It's like it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal anymore, so I don't know. Maybe it was just me getting used to the new angle. Yeah, I was having some problems with that too, with my own line art. Like, I don't know, it just feels like I have more control over it when I'm on paper than I am, that drawing on a screen. Like for some reason, I just can't get my lines right. Like I can edit. Like if I what I've done, like if I needed to expand the backgrounds or something, or I needed to fix something, that I can go in and, with my pen tool or whatnot and do that. I can fix it. But to actually do a piece from scratch and ink it, I've yet to really find, I'm just, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's like, I'm just not I'm not happy with my lines in the computer, as I am on paper. So, yeah. Yeah, my hand still gets in the way. My hand still gets in the way, but it's not as bad. You know, so let's see. Sketching. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've done that too. I've done some sketching in, in Photoshop. But I usually end up like printing it out and then lightboxing it, as opposed to inking, as opposed to like finishing it up on the screen. Yes, it's that I would. What is it? So, like I said, I was watching a video from White Manga, WHYTE, I think, and he was doing a whole tutorial on how to do a comic book page in Clip Studio Paint from beginning to end. And yeah, I mean, and what was funny was that like just the other day, Visenia from Visenia Designs, she was doing, who streams on Twitch, she was doing her comic, her issue 10 on in Clip Studio Paint as well, and she was laying out her pages. And yeah, I don't know, it's like I would like to try to do that, but I don't know, it's like I don't know, it's like I don't know, working on paper, I think it's just, again, it's another learning curve thing. Like, I don't have the patience for learning curves unless I really, really, really need to learn something. Like if I know how to do it some other way, I'll just continue using my way until something forces me to it's like, oh my God, I have to do this all digitally now or something. Something like that. And okay. So it's like my head is kind of all over the place. Let's see. It's like my head is all over the place. Like I said, it's the end of the month, and there's just like so much, just so much to do. I mean, and that's just like for December, and then it's like on top of that, it's like everything that I have to get done. But yeah, but it's like, yeah, so Visenia was working on her issue 10. And then it's like I found you see, I don't know, it's like I have a feeling I've heard his comic Apple Black before. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know, it could be also that the name is just like on point for like sounding like what a Japanese company would name a manga, that maybe it just like I think I've heard it before, and maybe I haven't. And what I found interesting, along with, watching the video, and watching him do, it's like, oh, Clip Studio Paint can do that. You see, and that's the thing too. Clip Studio Paint can do a lot of things that you can't do in Photoshop, or at least you can't do easily in Photoshop. And that's kind of, why I'm leaning, it's like I've yet to pull the trigger. I do have Clip Studio Paint, like I literally have it right here. I have my hard copy. What is this? This is Clip Studio Paint EX, because it's the one that is the version that does the animation as well. And yeah, it's whatever, it's whatever, I guess their base model is, because now it's like you have to pay a subscription for upgrades. But as far as As far as I can tell, though, you really don't need the upgrades. I know that there was a lot of kerfuffle with Clip Studio Paint moving to a subscription model. Like, you can buy the base for a flat price. Like, okay, you buy the base and that's it. But if you want upgrades, all the newest upgrades, you have to get a subscription to get them. But as far as I can tell, you don't need that. So you can just buy the base for Clip Studio Paint and oh, that starts next year. Yeah, it's like yeah, and then you don't need this, but you can, and the subscription is like crazy inexpensive compared to, I think it was like $7, I think, or like $4 for a base, for like really, I don't know, there was like 2 tiers. Like, if you only wanted it on one computer, it was like $4.99, but if you need it on multiple computers, it's $7.99 a month for the upgrades, so it's like, but and definitely it's a lot cheaper than Adobe. I pay like, what's it going for now? Like $50 a month or something. But I just use these programs too much to worry about dupes, to worry about like, oh, well, you can use this program for free, or, it's like, or whatnot. Let me see. Did I? Okay. Like, I don't quite remember, like, what... Oh, okay. No, that's this. Okay, so her jacket... Okay, so the jacket here. Okay. All right. But, it's like, yeah, speaking of Clip Studio Paint kerfuffle. So it's like, so on another one that added liquify, I'm not, you see, right, yeah, it's like Pro, I think, doesn't do like a lot of the manga stuff, and it definitely doesn't do a lot of the animation, I think. But speaking of kerfuffle, though, with Clip Studio Paint, so like I said, the last time everybody was all up in arms because Clip Studio Paint was now going to a subscription model. But the thing is, though, it was a very misleading kerfuffle. Like I said, it's like, you don't need it, and, it's like pretty much everybody was angry at updates they didn't even know existed at that moment. I mean, they don't even know what kind of updates are coming. And they were all mad at the idea of a subscription model to get them. It's like, look, you can use the program without them. So, if you're happy with the program now, there's no reason, but Clip Studio Paint decided to go hold my beer the other day. And I guess what? The new version of Clip Studio, the new update, the next update is going to have an AI thing also with it, I mean, it's like, yeah, where it's like, because they already have this thing where they have like built-in backgrounds and whatnot, and you can use like a 3D tool to create, like figures and whatnot that you could like kind of pretty much, use as a base and trace over or whatnot. Now you can just straight up use AI to do whatever it is you want to do in Clip Studio Paint. And they're claiming theirs is different because they didn't train it. And they're not using data from anybody using Clip Studio Paint to train it. But the thing is, though, they're licensing it from another company that's already done the training on stolen materials. So it's like, again, it's like, it's like, stop it. There is no ethical use. There is no... Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, because if you decide not to use the subscription anymore, I'm sure you won't be able to like manipulate anything that uses the upgrades that you used. So yeah, that's the thing that you have to really consider too. But yeah, yes, exactly. It's like, it's very sus. It's like they're licensing. Yeah, it's like they're doing kind of like the same thing. You know, same thing Deviant is, but they're not pretending that they made this thing themselves, or are they? I don't know. It was just like the whole AI conversation is so. I'm so over it. I'm so bored with it. Because it's like, honestly, it's like, look, if no corporations don't give a shit as to what their base cares about. You know, it's like they're all saying, oh, we want to have a conversation, you know, about AI. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Because it's like, if you really want, it's like, you don't need to have a conversation about AI. Artists are screaming to the rooftops all over social media what they think about AI, you know, and it's like, but you know what? Corporations are not your friends. They're not my friends. They're not your friends. They're nobody's friends. Corporations are corporations. You know, they don't give a shit about what you think about what they're doing to make money. As long as they're making money. You know, and that's why I'm just like kind of tired of that conversation, because it's like, it's like, look, they don't, they just see AI as just another way to make money, to data mine, and all that, and they're not interested in what artists have to say. You know, but the thing is, though, it's obvious that's like, look, it's like, you know what's funny? It's like, and I'm sure it's coming to, it's like that I'm shocked that Adobe hasn't like been the first one to jump on that as well. But it's only a matter of time in the end. I mean, unfortunately, it's like, that's just something that we're all gonna have to, yeah, well, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like, Jody, it's like corporations is about cheapening labor cost. Yeah, it's like they want the talent without paying for the person who, oh, hello. They want the talent without paying for the person to do it. I mean, actually, what was ironic is that this was exactly, well then, this was exactly the conversation that I had on my when Adobe put out that promo for that program, Comic Blast, which technically that's exactly what they were trying to do. You know, it's like AI comic books. You know, it's like how to use, but it wasn't AI. It's just that how you could just, anybody could just make a comic book using altered photos or whatnot. Opinion on Caravaggio. An opinion on Caravaggio. The Vatican collection is sus. That's an opinion on Caravaggio. Beautiful artwork in and of itself. Look, it's Caravaggio. It's like, you know, it's like brilliant paintings. But the paintings that he did specifically for the Vatican, let's just say it's Catholic pornography. It's Catholic child pornography. You know, it's like, you know, if you look specifically at the works that Caravaggio did for the Vatican, it's very sus. There's an opinion. Were you expecting that opinion? But other than that beautiful artwork, you know, I suggest anybody go study Caravaggio. Or any of the masters, you know, any of the masters. Yes. Oh, you went to, you got, yeah, I'm sure the paintings in person are just spectacular. I'm sure, you know. Oh, and I just realized. Oh, and welcome from Twitch. Thank you for, you know, it's like, thank you for joining me today. I'm still getting used to streaming to Twitch, but I'm glad that you're finding me. So thank you. You know, yes, there's I learned that in college, actual art class. It wasn't some weird online conspiracy theory. So yeah, but yeah, it's like to be able to be able to see those paintings in person, which I highly recommend it to everybody. Like, if you could travel, and if you can travel, get your passport, travel and see these pieces in person, because it's really is amazing, like, what we think we're seeing in a photograph, and it's a completely different experience when you're there. This is what happened when I went to Paris for the first time. Thank you very much. Thank you. Absolutely, there's a Spanish Inquisition joke in there somewhere. It's so when I went to Paris for the first time, it's like, look, the Eiffel Tower, right? Everybody knows. I mentioned the Eiffel Tower. Everybody gets the Eiffel Tower in the head. You all know what the Eiffel Tower looks like until you're actually underneath the Eiffel Tower. And it's like, and it's one of those things where it's like, you see something all the time in photos, in movies, and I was just watching a video about this concept the other day, about like how the more something is reproduced, the more it cheapens the thing that it's reproducing. Like, we all know what the Mona Lisa looks like, right? It's like, who cares, right? But when you're actually in front of it, it's a completely different experience. So we were in Paris that first night, completely jet lagged out of our minds. I don't have a specific, it's like, it kind of, my favorite artists are mostly Spanish and Dutch. I don't think Hieronymus Bosch is German. I think he was a Dutchman who moved to Spain. That's why a lot of his paintings, Hieronymus Bosch is in Spain and not in Denmark. Hold on, let me just but German, but what's funny is that, because I think it's like, what? It's like, I forgot their names. Bruegel? I think he's also Dutch too. Bruegel the Elder and the Younger, with their funky paintings. It's like, it's like, I get all kind of like that all mashed up in my head. But most of like my, honestly, it's like my absolute favorite classic painter is Diego Velázquez. I know I probably butchered that, even though I am Spanish and should know this. So he's my absolute favorite. But we do not, it's like Goya. Francisco Goya is another one of my favorites. The black canvases are just, you can't compare anything to them. And then Salvador Dali is always a perennial favorite. But you know what? It's like, I am more than happy to go to Germany and find Austria and find my favorite artists there too. So we were in Paris. We were extremely jet lagged. So we were just like stumbling around until we came across the Eiffel Tower. And we just decided to just like, okay, we're just going to sit down and whatnot and chill, because it's like, I don't know, like that long of a trip. What happened was that we were in kind of like this weird mood. We were like going, oh, why are we even here? Why are we even here? It's like, what are we doing here? You know what? So we're sitting on a bench, like in front of the Eiffel Tower. We were exhausted out of our minds. And then all of a sudden, it was nighttime. And then all of a sudden, we're sitting there. And then all of a sudden, the Eiffel Tower lights up. They have like this whole like light thing like, it's not a light show per se, but it's like it lights up the entire Eiffel Tower. Like it looks like it's sparkling and whatnot. And, you know, and it's like, and we're just sitting there staring at it. And we were like going, oh, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. And it was kind of like we woke up again. You know, it's like we woke up. And then it's like we started walking underneath it. And mind you, this was back, when was it? This was early. I think around like early 2000s, maybe 2007, maybe. So this was before they had everything blocked off, because there were some bombings that happened later on in the area. And now it's like you have to go through a security checkpoint to even go, you know, to even get close enough to the Eiffel Tower anymore. So we were there before that. So everything was open. So we just got up and walked underneath the Eiffel Tower, and everything's all lit up and sparkling. And we looked up, and I can't even describe to you like what that looked like, you know. It was just like, let's see, I think I'm gonna change the color of her belt a little bit. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me just put that color in, because it's like now it's looking well, it doesn't have any shading in it, so now it's like everything's kind of looking a little muted, you know. And also the thing is too, this is not a very colorful character, so, but the thing is, I might brighten up that buckle a bit just to give it a little bit more something. So, you know, and it's like, and that's when I realized, wow, there's a reason why this is considered an engineering marvel. You know, the Eiffel Tower. You know, I mean, you just, like, you see photos, and the photos flatten it out so much. It's like you really don't get a sense of the intricacy of it, of the engineering, you know. So, you know, and it was just like, yeah. So then it's like we spent some time at the Louvre, right? So it's like, and you know, and it's like absolutely mind blowing. Now, here's the thing. It's like, you know, I go to the Met. It's like, I'm in New York. The Metropolitan Museum of Art is always a thing. I have, you know, I have a annual pass to that thing, to that museum. And it's like, yeah, and it's like, it's been a while since I've gone back, so I really do need to go back to the Met. Right? Yeah, exactly. All the photos in the world will not replace being there actually is. You know, but it's like you go to the Louvre, right? And we were at the Louvre, and it's like not even in the door, right? You are seeing every art piece that you have ever seen in every art book everywhere. You know? Except now it's in your face. You know, and that was like completely mind-blowing in and of itself. Like, you all know what Winged Victory looks like, the statue, right? We all know what that looks like. It's cliche at this point. You know, Winged Victory, you know, the one with the statue that doesn't have the head or the arms, but it has the wings. You all know what it looks like, because we've seen it that many times. But if you've never seen it in person, you've never seen it. I mean, that, because we turn a corner, there's a staircase in the Louvre, and Winged Victory is right there. And the pedestal, because they think that Winged Victory was actually at the helm of a boat, of a ship. So the pedestal that they have it on was built to kind of imitate that, like how you would have seen Winged Victory in person, essentially. And, you know, it takes your breath away. You know, here's the thing that, like I said, it's cliche as to how many times you see it in a book. And it's right there in front of you, you know? And it's like, now I get it. Like it literally, it's like you're literally understand. It's like, now I get it. Although the most obnoxious thing happened at that moment. Some snotty British kid was like going, oh, I've seen that already. You know, it's like, you know, he did that shit. You know, it's like, obviously, you know, he was at that age where, you know, they're you know, it's like kids are all assholes. You know, it's like they're at that age, you know, and, you know, and it's like he's kind of sassing his mom, you know, he's bored to death. I was like, oh, I've seen that. I've seen that a million times. You know, and I wanted to be all New York on him and go, then go to fuck home if you've seen it already. You know, it's like you don't know what you're looking at. You know, it's like you don't know what you're looking at. You know, but, you know, I kept it civil. We didn't want to be the ugly New Yorkers. We didn't want to be the ugly Americans. You know? But I really wanted to smack this British kid upside his head so hard for that. It's like, how can you not know what you're looking at? And in the end, that's what it is. He didn't know what he was looking at. You know, he didn't understand the significance of what he was looking at. You know? So, you know, it was just, you know, so yeah. But, you know, so my point is that if you can get a passport and go overseas and go see these museums and see these pieces in person, like a photograph cannot show you how truly large the yeah, pretty much. I was almost like that. It was horrible. It was almost like that. Go do whatever the fuck you British people do. You know, no photograph can really portray like how big what's that painting? The Coronation of Josephine. You know, with the painting where Napoleon is crowning, like Napoleon had just finished crowning himself emperor, and he's crowning Josephine. He's crowning, and the, you know, and the clergy is standing back all horrified that he's doing this, that he dared do this. You know, you have there's no concept except being in front of it to give you an idea as to how big this painting is. You know, the capsizing of the Medusa, I think that's also there, you know, at the Louvre. You know, it's like I've been to El Prado in Spain, you know, and it's like, you know, when you see Las Meninas in person, you know, when you see the black canvases in person, you know, it's like, you know, when you see the Garden of Earthly Delights in person, it's different. It's you've never seen it before. Do you realize it was at that moment you entered your aging phase? I don't know. I've always felt old. I don't know. It's like, you know, I was thinking I felt old at 18. So, you know, what's funny is, like, I think I probably felt more old at 18 than I do now at the age that I'm at right now. You know, so I ain't doing the math. You know, so, you know, so, yeah, see, and that's the thing too. That's the type of awe that you're never going to get with AI. I'm completely convinced of that. The only way people will start looking at AI that way when it becomes the only thing that they look at. You know, when corporations, because that in the end, it's like that's what corporations want to do. They want to control your entire cultural experience through IPs. You know, so that's why, you know, like going to museums is important. That's why, you know, it's like seeing things and learning things outside of a corporate controlled environment, in a sense that it's not IP driven. A corporation doesn't control it. You know, that British kid Right, yeah. It's like, it's like, I mean, but that's the age though. That's the age though, Rue. It's like, yeah, it's like, so it's like, what that kid was doing, but at the same time, I'm sure now you look back, it's like going, oh my God, what was I doing? It's like, it's like, unfortunately, yeah, that's the type of thing where that kid is not going to realize until much later how important that experience was at that moment. Also for the fact that he was this close to having a New Yorker smack him upside the head. But, that's, that's, that's neither here nor there. Let's see. How do you feel about seeing status at the site that they were originally placed? The statues of William Penn in Philadelphia. Oh, the statues. What's really funny is that, like, I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question. But what's funny is that it's like, the whole thing with the tearing down statues of Columbus and whatnot, and people were like, and then there just became a trend where it's like kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Because God help me, I don't mean problematic. That I'm not using that word correctly, and that's not what I mean. Insensitive. Insensitive statues were being taken down. And one of the statues that they took down from the museum, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, was a statue of Teddy Roosevelt, because it's his collection, especially in the Hall of North American Mammals. But I mean, most of the dioramas, if not all of them, I think all of the dioramas, the original dioramas in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, they're all originally from Teddy Roosevelt's personal collection. So I guess he was kind of like, he was, I guess, technically the founder kind of the museum, of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The thing is that, you see, here's kind of a side note. You can't have civilization without barbarism. Unfortunately, that's kind of, history bears it out. But that's kind of like a different conversation, I mean, it's kind of like, it's a complicated conversation. Okay, but the thing is, though, back to the museum, though. So they had this statue of Teddy Roosevelt on horseback, and next to him was a Native American First Nations chief, and then on the other side was an African chief. But they were on foot. And I guess and it's like, and this is a statue that I've seen for decades. It's like, I've always seen this statue there. And they removed the statue because the symbolism of the statue is very, not, because what it is that by Teddy Roosevelt being, the symbolism of Teddy Roosevelt being on horseback, is the symbol of a conqueror, is the symbol of a master, and it's like being, and so conversely, being on foot next to a horseman is considered being subservient to the horseman. This is real symbolism of statuary. I mean, it's like, I'm not pulling this out of my ass. This is when statues were being made like this, every piece of everything on that statue is a symbol, including, there's an entire language on what it means depending on what position the horse is in. Right? It's like, if the horse has one foot up or another foot up, or if it's rearing, it's all different symbolism. It's that's meant to be conveyed in the statue. This is a real thing. It wasn't all aesthetic, So So the museum decided to take down that statue. What they did with it, I don't know. I'm sure that there's a way to look it up. I mean, I would like to think that maybe they put it somewhere where it could have more historical context as to what the statue represents. Let's see. Yes, which I have, Joe. Because I have relatives in Rio de Janeiro, so we were there. I think I'm sure I have. I forgot what it was called. I know it's Christ the Savior in English, but my Portuguese is kind of here and there nowadays. You know, so it's like if I go back to studying Portuguese, it's like I can pick it up really quickly. Yeah, it's Christ the Redeemer. The set, yeah, it's like I've seen it in person, and it's like photos don't do it justice. It's like you have to be there, you know, to realize what this is, like the significance of it. Let's see. You know, it's like let's see, like how tourists comes to see the lions in the form of the Art Institute here. During different seasons, locals like me think nothing until you belittle them. Oh, okay. But it's a big deal to some tourists. Well, I mean, it's kind of like, you know what? It's like in New York, it's like we're full of famous statuary. Like you do have the lions in front of the library, the main public library on Fifth Avenue. I mean, it's like, you know, but also at the same time, it's like, you know, it's kind of like there are certain things where, like I said, yeah, so like I said, the thing about the museum, the statue that was in front of the museum, like the museum looks empty without it because I've always seen it there. But like I said, I hope they put it somewhere where it has, they can put more context to the imagery. You know, after yeah, I mean, you know, it's like, you know, because also it's like I remember reading that the statue of David, that there's actually two Davids if you go to Italy. There's the one for the tourists and the one that's actually the real thing. I just don't know which is which. Because what it is that the statue of David is meant to be seen from the top of a building. It's not meant to be, you're not supposed to be at its feet. That's why the proportions on it are weird. Because Michelangelo, when he did that, he carved the statue in perspective. So, you know, so it's like, so it looks correct when you're seeing it at the angle that you're supposed to be seeing it at. But when you see it straight on, you know, that's why it's like, why is his head so big? Why is his hands so big? Why does he have yoy hands? You know, it's like, you know, I mean, it's like, you know, that's why the proportions are weird because you're seeing it at the wrong angle. You know, and the thing is, like, it's like with Winged Victory, they built the platform to mimic what it might have looked like on a boat, you know, where it would have been. So, yeah. But yeah, I would like, yeah, I need to travel more. Actually, I just need to go outside more. I need to go to the museum. I really do need to take like a day, just take a day and go, you know, go to the Metropolitan, because I know they did a lot of renovation there. Right. Well, because because there's a reason for that too, Joe. That's symbolic too. Joe, that's symbolic too. You know, it's like, without getting into a whole House of Bob, you know, explanation for it, but it's a real explanation. that it's like the reason why male genitalia on classical statues were so small was because it was considered a sign of education. There we go. It was it was considered a sign of being, you know, it's like you were very highly educated. You were you were civilized, you know, kind of thing. It's like, you know, like the Greek and Roman the Greek and Roman aesthetic. You know, you were civilized. You know, it's like you were not, you know, ruled by your primal needs, you know, type of thing. It's like, because if you look, you know, if you pay attention, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. It's like, I don't know whether I hit something or, oh, hey, Jake. Yes, exactly. There we go. Our resident, our resident academic. That's exactly what it is. It displayed modesty, civility, and virility. But the thing is, though, is that it meant that, you were civilized. That you were, like I said, that you weren't ruled by your base instincts. Because if you pay attention to certain statues, if they ever portrayed like I don't know, like the Gauls or something, you know, it's like if they ever portrayed barbarians. Now, mind you, remember, barbarian just means that you were not a Roman citizen. That's all that means, you know. But and usually you were German. So yes, that's exactly what it was. It's like they carved those that genitalia larger to show that's like, oh, they were like practically animals. You know? I mean, like I said, statuary, it's like, it wasn't aesthetic. Everything in a statue has a meaning. You know? You know, it's like, that's the thing. So it's like, yeah. It just meant foreigner. That's, yeah, exactly. Barbarian just means foreigner. You know? Let's see. I think I'm not going to use the same color for this. Hold on. Let me see. I think I want to go with a darker, with a kind of like a darker brown. Not too dark though, but just enough to give it a little contrast. Oh wait, no, I want. You know, but yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's like even paintings themselves, classical paintings, everything has a meaning. It's like you're talking about, you know, like a lot of these things were created in a time where a lot of people were illiterate. So whatever values that the ruling classes wanted to make sure they got out to the masses had to be in symbolic form. You know, it's so that they would understand it. You know, yeah, I think so too, Jake. I think that's, yeah, the whole bigger, better is an American thing. I really do. You know, and it's like, we're not even talking about hentai at all. That's a completely different thing. We're not even talking about like just outright pornography. But like I said, that's a House of Bob conversation. So let's just leave it at that. Yeah, I would. Oh, by the way, speaking of, well, maybe I wouldn't exactly consider it erotic, but for those of you who don't know, Tim Vigil has finally released Faust on Kickstarter. So I know, you know, so if this was a comic that you have been waiting to see collected, it's on Kickstarter right now. Yeah, just thought everybody should know. I mean, it's like what was funny was that I remember one convention, Jose was actually scolding Tim Vigil. This was about 10 years ago. He was scolding Tim Vigil about, dude, why don't you finally put out Faust on a Kickstarter? And Tim Vigil was like, do you think people would really buy it? It's like, I don't know. I mean, so, well, I look, it excites me. I'm sorry, Nita. The whole idea of Tim Vigil finally putting out that book excites me. It's, but, so yeah, so just, so everybody knows that, that's what's going on. That's the exciting thing on Kickstarter right now. Aside from my own, thank you. But honestly, the Tim Vigil book is very exciting. I'm hoping that, because they limited the trade paperback, and I'm hoping that it's because they're going to do, no, they limited the hardcover, and but I hope it's because they're going to do a trade paperback soon. I really do hope so. I think it'd be absolutely insane of them to not have, so thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming, Blue. Thank you. Oh, but yeah, but Jake, I mean, yeah, definitely. Oh, it's like, what books? What books are those? I mean, because those are like, because our again, not to make this a House of Bob conversation, if anybody is interested, I do another live stream where I'm drawing, but it's adult stuff, but it's an adults only stream, and our highest viewed live stream is literally sex and comics. So it's in the playlist on both my page and on Indie Comics Network. You can check out the video there. We talk about a lot of adult comics on that. I'm very proud of that episode. Very proud of that episode. I really enjoyed it. It also brought me down memory lane with some of the books that we talk about on it. So, yes, and our next, if you'd like to see the latest episode of House of Bob, because we only run that once a month, the next one's going to be on December 31st. So we can continue this conversation on December 31st if you want to join us. Oh no, Rue, you renamed you're working on the wrong layer. That's like a nightmare. That's like a nightmare for everybody who works. You could be working in Clip Studio Paint or Photoshop, the wrong layer. I try to keep my layers as concise as possible. I don't know how there's some artists who it's like they have hundreds of layers. I don't know how they do that. I just can't. Actually, that's kind of like one of the reasons why I haven't really, as much as I would love to draw a VTuber of my very own. I don't know, man. Those layers are intimidating. I mean, we're talking hundreds of layers depending on how much you want to animate. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. That's too many layers for me to keep track of. Yeah. Oh. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. No, yeah, we don't, like I said, we don't celebrate holidays. We really don't. I mean, it's like, look, honestly, on most, in the past, I can't even remember the last New Year's Eve I actually stayed up past midnight. Okay? I mean, that's, it's like, I don't, we don't, it's like, we don't. It's like, so it's like, we're going to be live streaming on New Year's Eve. And even then, it's only from 8 to 10. Because it's like usually by like 11 o'clock, I'm in bed. It's like, Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, it's like, yeah, we're, except, you know, yeah, it's just the two of us and there's more pornography this time. Miss you, Meredith. Miss you. Um, you know, but yeah, that's, oh man. Yeah, so you know, so yeah, so let's see. So yeah, so far the colors here are looking, the flats are looking good. Um being in the field is the other side. Okay. You know, let's see. So I'm just trying to decide, like, okay, okay, so let's see. It's like, what was I doing here? Was she wearing a sweater underneath this? It's like, I'm not seeing that in the source material, in this image. Maybe I should just, let me see. Is that just her scarf tucked in? Maybe it's just her scarf tucked in. You know, I'm gonna. It's like, don't you hate that? It's like, you know, it's like, I drew this and I don't know what I drew. You know, it's like, what is this? I think it's her scarf. I think it's her scarf that's just tucked in. So, you know what? I'm going to run with that. I'm going to run with that. So, there you go. At least it adds a little bit, yeah, I think it's, you know, yeah. I think it's her scarf that's tucked in, and it just adds a little bit more color to the piece before I get to the background. Now, let's see. Let me do the bottle. So here's the thing. So we're going to do, let's see, beer bottles are usually like an amber color, right? So let me put this in. So let's do that. You know what? Let me try something. So, like I said at the beginning of the show, I have like these two I was following along with another live stream where they were showing how to do, like, how to color with masks. So I set up a mask, you know, and let me see if this works. Hold on. So what if I were to take the mask? Oh, no. Yeah, it's not going to work the way I want. Okay, it's not going to work the way. Right. Okay, never mind. Let me just deselect that. I'm trying to be lazy. Don't be lazy. It's like, you know, maybe there's something with a mask that I'm missing. But yeah, that's not going to work right now. So, okay, so I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to trace it out. Okay, let's see. So let me give it like a cream, kind of like a cream colored label, like that. Let's do that. Right, okay, so then let me take that same color and darken that. Well, she is dead, technically. You know. Let's see. Maybe I should make that a little darker. Good thing. I'm gonna have to think about that for a little bit. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that for a little bit. So, okay. So, all right. So here are my flats. And remember, save and save often. Okay, so let me see here. So I don't want to get into the detail of the background yet. It's like, you know what? I think I'm going to try one of these. I'm going to try the mask that I have here, because let me see. I think just clicking on it activates it. So let me go to my shadow. Let's see. Let me just see. Okay, you see? All right. So yeah. So the whole point with the mask is that I can literally do this and it'll keep the color within those lines without me having to trace anything. So okay, so I don't have to select it or anything. It's just gonna automatically do it. So okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start shading her in. So let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me just fix her eyebrows here. Hold on. Let me get that color. Okay, there, much better. So now I'm on my character mask layer. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that purple that I always use for shading, right? And I'm going to start shading. So, okay, so let's see. So the first thing I'm going to do, okay, let's do this. Because I want to make sure that, I'm pretty sure it'll work. Let's see. Okay. Because I haven't tried this yet. I mean, this is the first time I'm trying this technique, so I'm hoping it works the way I think it's supposed to. Right, so what I'm doing right now is that I'm blocking out where I want my shading to go. All right, so okay, so I'm going to fill it in with my purple. So yes, that looks kind of weird, right? I mean, it's like, so yeah, so this is a very specific purple that it took me a little bit to kind of figure out like the right shade, because now of course it looks ridiculous right now, because it's oddly purple, and also I screwed up my thing here, so let me just fix this up. Okay, it's supposed to go like this. So okay, there we go. All right, so I put down my purple layer, and then the idea is that when I change it to multiply, well, it kind of muted it a bit, but I guess it's because the color underneath is kind of similar. So let me see. So that's the original color, and then multiply kind of like, it's supposed to make it a little transparent so that no matter what color I put underneath it, the purple will adjust to the color that's underneath it. So like, to kind of give you an example. So okay, so I'm going to use that same color on the red here on the scarf. Right, so here we have our shade, and then it's like I'm going to put in that same purple, except now the layer is on multiply already. So now it's going to give me like a different tone of red. So no matter what color, like say if I wanted to make the scarf green, oh no, wrong layer. If I wanted to make the scarf green, right? So now you see how the shading adjusts itself to the color that's underneath. Like, just like if I had made a yellow layer, if I made the scarf yellow, you would get the tone would adjust accordingly. So, okay, so far, now the whole, let's see. Now, what I liked about the idea about using masks is that technically, especially when I get to the edge, if I needed to do anything on the edge, I don't have to worry about tracing that outline. So like, first, like, okay, let's say if I wanted to put a shade here, right? So I'm going to do here. Now before, what I had to do is I would have to like trace over this entire, you know, I would have to trace it like that so that I can keep the shading in the lines. But because I'm using a mask, I should be able to do this. Okay, so we're gonna put in and not have to, and look at that, and just like not have to care about my outline. And then when I put in the shade, it stays within the mask without me having to really, I don't have to be as careful, I guess. Is this a commission? No. It's just, I drew this during a live stream that JD Rosario was doing for his comic, The Undead Princess Vicky Styx. And I just liked it so much, I inked it in, and I thought it would just be nice to finally finish it. And then it's like here, you got here, Merry Christmas, you know, or whatever, you know. It's like whatever Jay wants to do with it, you know, it's fine, you know. It's like it was just like something I was just listening to him on one of his streams, and I sketched this out, so I'm just finally finishing it. You know, I mean, it would have made more sense if I had done it while his live stream, while his Kickstarter was still alive. You know, but you know, it's just something in. It ended up in my pile of stuff that, you know what, I really should finish everything before the end of the month. So. Now let's see. Do I really want that sleeve right like that? But that's the point of having a mask. I think also what it is too is that if I had wanted, like, for some reason, like, I don't know, if I think it's like you can do a gradient or something. No, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I would have to look more into let's see, gradient tool. Oh, you see, like that, you know. Oh, okay, that's good to know. That's it. So it's like, yeah, like, say if I wanted, so I took, like, I don't know, like a gradient. So it's like, if I wanted to color like that, you know, it'll stay within the boundaries of the mask. So, okay. All right. So, okay. So, oh, that's good to know. All right. It was funny is that I thought that Adobe had gotten rid of this particular tool, and I've been using this thing right here. And I was always frustrated because it didn't give me the control that the gradient tool did. But okay, now I know it's still here. Okay, so you learn something new every day. Okay, so where was I? Well, let me go back to my shading. So let's see. So okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it's like, look, it's like, what was it? The best discoveries are done by accident. So, you know, that's kind of how I learn. You know. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, just kind of like, mm, okay. Yeah, and then it's like also the same thing. The same thing always applies here. So I have this screen in front of me, but I'm also looking at the OBS screen that's like just past it to make sure that I'm getting what I want. Even though I have the screen in front of me, even though the Cintiq is right here, but for some reason by looking at it on the second monitor, it's allowing me to see it, you know, to like kind of like, you know how that they say you have to flip your canvas to make sure that you're drawing everything aligned correctly or whatnot, which I never do, by the way. So it's like, I don't know. It's like I keep seeing that, and I just don't do. I don't know. It's like, but I think this is kind of like a variation of it, where it's like the idea is so that you kind of like cleanse your eye palette a bit, so that you can see your image, kind of like differently, so that you can see your mistakes easier. Kind of like, you know how it's like you think a piece is perfect until you put it on, until you post it online, and then you see all the mistakes. It's kind of like that, because it's like by posting it in a different way, it's like it kind of like resets your eyes to what you're looking at, and then it's like, oh snap, I gotta fix it, you know. So so at least this way I can see it on the screen. I'm seeing it double, but the OBS screen is giving me what I actually want to see, while the screen on the Cintiq is just what I'm working on, you know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't do that flipping thing. I think that this is just easier, you know, for me. You know, yeah, you want to find all your mistakes, just post it online, and you'll find them immediately. Seconds, you'll find all your mistakes immediately. So oh, so how is everybody liking this playlist? I'm actually feeling it. I really like this bossa. It's the bossa nova playlist on Epidemic Sound, and I don't know. It kind of classes up the joint, I would think. You know, either that, or it just sounds like we're drawing in an elevator. I don't know. Always gotta be careful with how I close my marquee. Oh wow! Or it's like, are we already almost at the 2-hour mark? Let me just finish up some stuff here. Well, let's do her hair. Because actually, it's like, yeah, let's do the hair so that I can kind of see how the highlights are gonna look on it. Oh, hey, Kia Fern. Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, it's what we gotta do, right? We're all working. We're all working. I mean, you can always catch it on the replay. We had a very interesting conversation of traveling to Europe, me almost beating up a British kid at the Louvre, seeing great paintings in person. The Vatican collection of Caravaggios is sus. Let's see. Yeah, I know, right? The subliminal messages. It's like, you know, it's like I'm kind of hoping that, you know, I don't know. It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep saying, you know, support my Kickstarter over and over again until everybody gets it. You know, I mean, that's pretty much it. You know. You know, it's like what, like take the music and then whisper really softly in a recording. Buy my Kickstarter. Support my Kickstarter. Ego Raven Air the first unicorn on Kickstarter right now. The Oswald Chronicles. Go support the Oswald Chronicles. No? Does that work? Is it working? Tell me if it's working. You know. Okay, let me see. All right, so okay, so let me try this highlight now. Let's see. Luckily, I don't think I have to use a different color for this. So let me see. Okay, so let's. Again, I could just, you see, I could just go out the lines and it shouldn't matter. But that's not usually how I do these. Okay, let's see how, okay, so I put in the pink and then, well, it's purple actually. Luminosity. Oh, okay. Oh, that looks nice. I like the way that came out. Oh, I like that. I like that. There we go. And it's like if and I can do something here where it's like I don't have to worry about. Well, over here, it's stupid. Over here, I have to because it's like that part is not masked out. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like the way that looks. Definitely like the way that looks. Yeah, okay. Let's see. So let me see. Will it work here? Or do I have to use white here? Probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete out these lines and just have the shape. Let's see. I don't know. I have to. Let me see. How does that look? Oh, okay. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's kind of. That's kind of. Yeah, probably what I'm gonna do. Let me see. Let me see how that'll look. If I take out this line here. you know, because sometimes things look better, you know, while it inked rather than, let me see, how does that look? Oh, I think that looks better. That looks better. Yeah, I'm gonna take out that line. Oh, and let me just clean this. That's not supposed to be there. Okay. I mean, it's getting there. It's getting there. You know? Oh, okay. All right, Nita. Everybody has to eat. Well, I mean, it's like, look, I mean, it's like, you know what? That's probably my cue too, because I am a little peckish. So, so here we are. So I think we can, let me save my file first before I stop, you know, doing anything. So here is, currently, you know, in progress, the digital piece of Vicky Styx. Well, I would think that the spouts are metal, I would think. You know? That's what it looked like in the photo that I was referencing. So, all right, see you later, Patrick. Yeah, you know what? I think it's time for me to go too. You know, it's like yeah, so we're just hitting the top of the second hour. And yeah, and I think that, so what I'm going to do is, like, of course, as always, after the stream, I'm just going to continue working on this until I'm done. You know, just so I can, you know, check this off the list as well. So, okay, so let's, let me cut that. So yeah, so it's like, let me just put this to the side here. So yeah, and this is the thing too. It's like, now it's like, because it's on that laptop thing, it's very easy for me to move it back and forth. And so I can always have it out, and it's like, it makes me want to use it more. So, you know, it was kind of fortuitous that it turned out that all I needed was just a laptop stand for the Cintiq, and that's it, you know. Okay, so let's see. And oh, you know, it's like I just realized I had forgotten to put the chat on the screen. Oops. Oh, but we had Nita keeping everything moving. So everybody say thank you to Nita, you know, for being the wonderful producer that she is. So yeah, so let me put that back there. So there we go. Oh, and you know. So yeah, so there we go. Oh yeah, I think it's looking, yeah, it's looking pretty good. I think it's like, yeah, it's looking pretty good. So, yes, we are going to check off today's work. Yes, we are. Oh my goodness. So, yeah. So, all right, let me find my stuff here. Ah, here we go. Oh, we're almost official. We're almost official. Ah, okay. So there we have it. Ooh, stretch. Big stretch. So yeah, so there we have it at the end of the second hour. Thank you so much for everybody showing up. Thank you so much to everybody, especially everyone who visited from Twitch. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you were seeing and what I was talking about, or anything. I mean, I thought we had a pretty good conversation, you know, so I was kind of rambling. Look, it's like, I'm always going to be rambly in the beginning until suggestions from the chat always put me in line. So, so I think we had a really nice conversation. So, okay, so let's see, where am I? What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Like I said, it's like I have to like reorient myself as to where all my files are now. Oh, so like I said, thank you everybody for joining me in the chat. Jake, Joe. Oh, I did. Oh, Jake and Joe. Yes, that's right. Jake and Joe, we're in the chat. You know what that means.
I don't know who it is, but it probably is for Hogwarts guys. I asked my friend Joe, I asked my friend Jake. They said it was for Hogwarts guys.
There we go. We're official. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Akia Fern. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jay, for showing up. And everybody, like I said, everybody. I saw. It's like, look. It's like, I saw all your comments. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to the 6 people who are joining me right now next to the giant eyeball on the StreamYard screen. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, a lot going on. It's like there's a lot going on in my head. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you were like working along with me. If you were listening, you're working along, and we were all having a good time. So. So on that note, yeah. So it's like, so if you want to learn, let me lower this. Good grief, There we go. I was wondering, as I was beginning to crouch down like this, and I go, what am I doing? Jesus. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and my books and my comics and all that fun stuff, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, which you can see the main ones right here. But if you're interested, if you're looking for more up-to-date, kind of real-time updates and sketches and that type of thing, I mostly hang out on Facebook. That's where I usually post, that's where I post pretty much all the time, is on Facebook. So if you want to, keep track of what I'm doing. And also, don't forget that you can catch my previous live streams and my pre-recorded videos here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lager, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time we go live. And and if you're interested in seeing me more, live like this, you can check me out on with Nita on screen. Nita will be on screen this time. You can check us out on the Rage Into the Vlogs show on Friday at 11 a.m. Where just to tell everybody, if you don't know, but I have been doing weekly giveaways to kind of in honor of everybody supporting me on Kickstarter. So this week will be no different. Pledge to a physical tier on the Eagle Raven campaign, and I will put you on the wheel so that you can win some cool prizes that I will add to your pledge. So we'll be giving away some more stuff this Friday as well. I don't know yet what I'm giving away, so I'm gonna have to see what special things I'm gonna be giving away this Friday. So make sure that you join us on Friday at 11 a.m. And then we will be returning on Monday at 11 a.m. It's every Monday and Friday. And then, and if you're catching me on Twitch, I will be back next Wednesday at from 4 to 6, just like I did today, for more drawing live streams. I usually try to switch up every, the type of work that I do on stream. So, you're not seeing the same artwork until I finish. You're actually going to see different things every time I live stream on Wednesdays. So, just mix it up, just you're seeing something different, and we'll have whatever conversations, you guys want to have in the chat. And finally, you can read you can read the first 5 issues of Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, in its original black and white format, which you have until January 1st to read and make those comparisons between the original versions that kind of date between 2000 and 2017 to the remastered Kickstarter versions, which I'm releasing now, which are pretty much the final versions of the comic. On January 1st, I will be restarting the archive with issue 1 with the full color version. So I will be posting the pages from Eagle Raven, the color version, on my website starting January 1st. If you're not sure about the comic, you want to check it out, but you don't want to support it just yet, there are several opportunities for you to check out the comic before, so that you can make your decision on that. And so it's like, but if you prefer your comics to be more of a Lord of the Rings fantasy, furry fantasy type of adventure, you can follow the links over to Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com, and read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free in the new updated gallery, where every chapter is easier for you to find now. And like I said, if you're not sure about, you want to support my campaign so far, that's okay. You can check out our comics for free, either on the websites or by signing up to our newsletters on either of those sites. It's the same mailing list where you can download free copies, PDFs of these comics for you to try out. And it's like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to do subliminal messages on the the live stream. You could just read the comics for free and then decide whether you want to support the campaign. You want to support the campaign anyway. So thank you so much. So thank you so much to everybody who's been watching. Thank you so much to everybody who's been supporting everything. So I mean, look, I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, it's like, you guys make it fun. So yeah, how can I say no to that, right? So on that note, we come to the end of the show, and and like I said before, I will see you next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'll see you on Friday. Look, just sign up, just subscribe, hit the notification bell, and get notified. It'll be a lot easier like that. So, I keep pressing the wrong button. Good grief. So on that note, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later. And I swear, next Wednesday, I'll try to get this right, okay? I'll try to be a little bit more professional. See ya.
It is difficult to write these words, but I must for my own sake. I have done, seen, and been part of many things in my life.